Hello, Facebook friends, Podomatic podcast listeners, and YouTube subscribers. Mark Mon here. Um, I start off first by saying I don't know how many more of these videos I'll be able to do. This is the companion video for episode 75. 75, wow. 75 episodes. I can't believe I've already gotten to 75 episodes. And that's just the regular episode. Excuse me, just the regular episodes. With all the other episodes, because I do specialty episodes from time to time. We're well over actually 100 episodes. So, but yeah, it's quite a landmark. 75. I never thought that we'd have this kind of a run when I first started out doing these. And I do appreciate everybody who's listened and everybody who's given feedback and encouragement, and that's part of the reason why I just didn't quit after 5 episodes, because I was getting good feedback from everybody, so I appreciate that. But as far as the videos here, I live in Western New York, just outside of Buffalo, and we're coming pretty close on winter time, and the days are getting shorter and shorter, and the light is a little less every day. The house that I live in was built in 1920, and has this great woodwork, very thick woodwork, dark woodwork, and when we moved in here, we thought, okay, well, it's pretty much an antique house. It's pretty much in the condition it was when it was first built. So why not take advantage of that? We'll have a lot of antiques. As you can see, the chair I'm sitting in is a Queen Anne chair that I'm sitting in. We have a barrel chair, and we have some wingback chairs, and we have a humpback couch, and so to go along with that, we got Tiffany lamps. A lot of them have stained glass shades on them and stuff, and they're great to look at, and they're period pieces, but they don't put off a whole lot of light, and so I a lot of times have difficulty with the videos. If it's a gloomy day, it's not going to come out right. If it's a little overcast or something like that, it's just going to be too dark, and I know that with the months coming up, it's going to be too dark for me to make videos. It's perfect for light, and it's great ambiance and everything, but it's not conducive to making videos. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to get the next episode out as well, but I don't know. I can't tell. But anyways, let's get into this episode number 75. I used a couple of CDs on a couple of tunes, so I'm not going to show those. I like to just show the records. And it kind of had a funny vibe. I mean, there's a lot of... it's good, but it just... I don't know. It's you'll see what I mean when you listen to it. It's just got a funny vibe to it. But anyways, so let's get started. The first record is Capitol record, and during the episode I said there's 3 reasons to love the cover art, but now that I'm looking at it, it's actually 4. But anyways, this is Jonah Jones, trumpeter Jonah Jones, and his album I Dig Chicks on Capitol. But if you actually look, I missed this one that's hiding out down here at the bottom, but these 3 lovely ladies, they'll get your attention. And this album is in great shape. I mean, it looks like I hate to use the reference, but it was played like maybe a dozen times and then just not touched. It's in really that good a shape. And on the back we got these little chickens, playing the term. But this is kind of an interesting album. The basic concept is all the songs except for the title track have the female names in them. So the title track, I Dig Chicks, then Mandy, Make Up Your Mind, Marchetta, Tangerine, Cecilia, Lulu, Chloe, Lilette, Judy, Louise, Linda, and Rosetta. So interesting. Another interesting thing about this is he does about 6 different vocals, which is few more vocals than he normally does on his albums. He does maybe 2 or 3 per album. So he did 6 on this one, but yet it still received a Grammy Award for Best Instrumental Album. All right, moving on. Now an actual vocalist. And by the way, we used the tune Tangerine off that one. Another Capitol record. Maybe that's why. A lot of Capitals here. But this is, I think, one of the vocalists who's highly underrated. She does a really good job, and I enjoy her quite a bit. This is Dakota Stanton, and the album title is Dynamic. And again, another one. This, I think, came out of the same collection, now that I'm thinking about it. Really great shape. So I was pleasantly surprised how nice and clean some of these came out in the recording process as well. But this is definitely a good album. The tunes here are Let Me Off, Uptown, Night Mist, Anything Goes, When Sunny Gets Blue, They All Laughed, Say It Ain't So, Joe, Too Close for Comfort, Little Girl Blue, It Could Happen to You, Cherokee, and Some Other Spring. And we actually used the tunes When Sunny Gets Blue. Good album. I like it. This is her second album for Capitol, I believe. It's the follow-up to her real big hit, The Late Late Show. All right. Vibraphone player. We actually have 3 on the episode. This is a solid state record. The vibraphonist's name is Johnny Lytle, and this is an album called A Man and a Woman, which is interpretations of songs from the movie A Man and a Woman. It actually came out the same year, later in the year that the movie actually came out. And the fun thing about it is there's a couple of tunes on here, Stronger Than Us, and the title tune, A Man and a Woman, that he does 2 different interpretations, one on side 1, and totally different sounding interpretations on side 2. So it does seem like it's repetitive, but it's not, because it's different sounding songs. So that's we have Stronger Than Us, Today Is You, Samba Sarava, Man and a Woman, and then side 2, A Man and a Woman again, but again it sounds differently, and then Stronger Than Us again, but this time it says Bossa Nova, and it is pretty a Bossa Nova. And then the final tune, there's only 7 songs on this album, In Your Shadow. And we did use one of the title tracks, A Man and a Woman. So. All right, then this is an interesting album. I actually a lot of times if I find some albums that I like, a label I'll say that I like, I will sometimes go out on the internet and look it up and see if I can find someone who sells that label specifically, and sure enough, this particular one here, this is actually Inner City Records, and when I looked it up, they have a website and they sell all these different inner city records. So then I like it, and there's you can buy them there, and I put a couple records into the whatever shopping cart, and now I go through and I'm gonna purchase them. As soon as you hit purchase, it does some wacky weird thing, and you get sent to a different website. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So they have a phone number as well. So I call up the phone number and I said to the person, I think there's something wrong with your website. I would love to purchase stuff on the website, but as soon as you click, sends you to the, yeah, we know there's a glitch, and we're working on it and everything like that. And okay, well, so I keep trying back, and it seems like it keeps doing the same thing. I would love to purchase more of these inner city records, but I can't seem to do it on the website. And I have a thing about giving my credit card number out, so I want to use PayPal, and the only way to do it is go through the website, and the website still doesn't work. So hopefully in the future you'll see more of these inner city records, but not this time around. Anyways, this is actually, like I said, on Inner City Records. This is part of their Jazz Legacy series. This is Buck Clayton, and the album name is Passport to Paradise. Great trumpet player there, Buck Clayton. And some great tunes on this. I'm sure I'm going to recycle this one and use a couple of these tunes on other shows. My Funny Valentine, I covered the Waterfront. Please Be Kind, Sleepy Time Gal, Baby Won't You Please Come Home, I Cried for You, Passport to Paradise, the title track. I Got a Right to Sing the Blues, Tangerine, another one that was on that. Great tune, great standard there. Body and Soul, which I believe is the tune that we used, and then Green Eyes. I mean, there's so many great tunes here. I've definitely got to use this on upcoming episodes, additional episodes, I should say. But this is in great shape. I bought this in a dollar bin. Actually, no, there's 79 cents a piece, or two for $1. So I actually got another album in addition to this for $1. But it still has the plastic on it, the shrink wrap, and it's in great shape. Moving on. Another vocal tune, because we do like to mix it up with some vocals here and there. I love this guy. You want to talk about a guy who the only way to describe it is that he was from a generation where they valued loyalty, because he signed on with RCA Victor Records. It was the first record label he was with, and the only record label he was with. He recorded exclusively for RCA for his entire career. We're talking about the great vocalist Perry Como. And this is actually called Relaxing with Como. Relaxing with Perry Como. And it's great. Again, this is from a different generation. Some of the tunes here are great tunes, but I doubt I'll use very much of this on other shows. But Prisoner of Love, Because, When You Were Sweet 16, Faraway Places, which is actually the tune we use, Black Moonlight, While We're Young, Song of Songs, Till the End of Time, Temptation. Oh, there you go. There's a tune that I might use again. Then If There Is Someone Lovelier Than You, and then Over the Rainbow. And it's great. It's great. But the thing about it is, at this point, he was just using the studio musicians. Didn't really have like his own orchestra. There weren't really any famous players in the orchestra. They were just a bunch of studio musicians that would get together and play with him. But he was churning them out. I mean, he probably had a new record every other month coming out at that point. So, all right. One of my favorite labels. I absolutely love this label. Anything that I get on this label is just awesome. Just great music. They were, they had the formula, is what it was. They just knew, and they would play on each other's. It was one of those, like a Blue Note almost, where they played on each other's records, and you'd get 10 guys into the studio, and they would churn out 5 records, and they would all be 5 records for 5 different artists as the leader, and they were all recorded at the exact same time. So this one is a little bit different than that, though. This is a Swedish guitar player by the name of Rune Gustafsson, and the great jazz tenor saxophonist Zoot Sims together. It's called The Sweetest Sound, and it's on Pablo Today. Pablo Records. Just love Pablo. Back, quite a bit of information about some of the players that are here. Um, and you've got, like I said, it's not just the two of them, obviously, but you got Bucky Pizzarelli also doing guitars, George Mraz on bass, and Peter Donald on drums. Um, and then it's just great. It's mixed and recorded in December 28th, 1978, in Stockholm, Sweden. So, just great. The tune that we actually used here is the title track, "The Sweetest Sound." Another vocalist, and wow, just a great one. Um, this is actually an album from Mercury Records. Um, this is called "After Hours at London House," and features Ronell Bright piano, Richard Davis bass, Roy Haynes drums, with Thad Jones trumpet, Frank West tenor saxophone, Henry Cocker trombone, and Wendell Cully trumpet. But the vocalist is the great Miss Sassy, the Divine One, Sarah Vaughan. And great shape again, this album. So beautiful. Nice and clean and white. There's a little bit of touch wear at the end, but not bad at all. Some of the tunes that are here are "Like Someone in Love," "Detour Ahead," "Three Little Words," "I'll String Along with You," "You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To," "Speak Low," great tune by Sarah Vaughan, by the way, "All of You," and "Thanks for the Memories," which is kind of weird. This is obviously recorded live at the London House, and for whatever reason, they decided, maybe it was a request. Someone requested "Thanks for the Memories," and she tried. She definitely tried, but unfortunately, she couldn't remember the words. So it's kind of a weird thing. London House is in Chicago, by the way, and this was recorded March 7th, 1958. Very good stuff. All right, last and not least, another vibraphone player. As I said, we had three of them on the show. The very first one was Cal Jader, which I took off a CD I have sitting around here somewhere. But I like to just show the records, not the CDs. So this one here is on Riverside, Milt Jackson and the Big Brass, "For Someone I Love," and this one is I picked up at a record show, as a matter of fact. The person had quite a few. He must have been a Milt Jackson fan. He had about 5 or 6 Milt Jackson records I picked up all at the same time. They're all in great shape. They're all in this plastic sleeve, well taken care of, well loved. They were nice and clean shape. The music on them is usually, right around the same time period as this one as well. And this one was done in, I believe, in the mid to late 50s. And this one here is kind of interesting. It has a big band brass section consisting of trumpets, trombones, French horn, and a tuba. No bass player, because the bass player is Major Hawley, and he's actually the tuba player as well. So it's kind of interesting. And the arrangements of that brass section was made by Melba Liston, great trombone player in her own right. And so it definitely has an interesting vibe to it. It's a little bit different than what you would hear on any other Milt Jackson recording. So it's very good. And let me see. Like I said, we've got a couple of great tunes here. "Days of Wine and Roses," "Morning Glory," "Save Your Love for Me," "Extraordinary Blues," "Flamingo," "Chelsea Bridge," which is a great tune, "Just Waitin'," and then "Bossa Bags." The tune that we use, though, is the title track, "For Someone I Love." Okay? Alright. So there you go. There are all the records from this episode. Again, take a listen. I think it came out. It's like I said, it just has a weird vibe, but it's a very good show though. All right, have a good one. Bye bye.